Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Wrenbury and we're starting with St Margaret's church and graveyard. Magnificent gates. Not a very big graveyard, but fairly old and interesting. The graves here back to 1896. One there seen better days. 1872. And got a bit of a lean on it. Not that big, but they've crammed in a lot of old graves. (1882). Nice one there, 1872. (1866). They are packed in tight, these are. That's a nice flat one. 1809. How well they survive. Some quite unique graves, really. There's a big one there. It's actually sort of unreadable. That's a fair bit of stone there. It's typical, isn't it? They plant a little tree when they're buried, and presumably that's what's happened there. That it's now a really big tree. 1855. A couple of these flat ones that you can't read. So it's not the biggest graveyard in the world, but 1867. That's quite a posh one. 1891. Quite a tomb, that is. There's a lot of moss about. That one's been joined at the side. Some more over the other side. There's quite a few under the tree which you can't really get to. Big B there. 1882. (1852). So they all, hello, in the 1800s. There's one there which must have been high status because it's got metal round it. 1882. From a local farmer. Memorial to those that gave their lives. It is a farming community, so there's a lot of farmer graves. And they are packing them in tight here. A lot from Carverley, which is a fair distance away really. Presumably that is a family grave, but you can't read it, but it's two the same. Well, I just timed it right because the man with his dog just came and opened the church, so we can actually video inside the church. It's always nice to be able to get in. And so many churches now permanently locked and you can't get in, but it's only not like 9 o'clock in the morning and this one's open. It's nice to be able to see inside. Wonderful old building. Presuming that would be originally for taking dead bodies. Well, there's a fair old bit of artwork there. The chest there, I don't know how old that is. Another piece of artwork. I'm just hitting the sun for the main window. I don't know who's done all this because it's all marvellous marvellous artwork. Lovely old church. You can see the beams. The organ. I presume this is a child's area here. Sunday school or something. Some sort of details of dog whipper's pew. Bit dark back here, but just looking for this dog whipper's pew. Which must be this. I don't know why the dog whipper had a pew or what they did, but nevertheless. We're back out, looking at the graveyard again, working our way round. Must have been a family grave. That's 1757. This one's a bit different. You can see quite clearly that letters are all raised, which is unusual because they're normally cut in. And it looks as though these are plates on the top. You can just make out sort of bolt holes. This one must be fairly posh because it's had metal round it. That's a fair old tomb, but you can't read it. In 1875, we're now the back of the church. Certainly a well kept grave here. 1909. What's this one? Somebody's certainly looking after this one. Recent one, 2007. Just to explore down here because it gets a bit wild. There's a bit of a path here, but some of the graves have been rewilded. What are these? On the side now, a modern grave. There's one or two graves there that are disappearing under nettles. There's quite a large selection where it's been rewilded. It's a conservation area, which is again a bit like the councils. We can't be bothered to mow it, so we'll call it a conservation area. We'll go and have a look at those in a moment, but these are all fairly modern graves. But there's always one or two that are quite interesting. I mean, these are a few bob's worth, aren't they? Finney now, I would bet that's a gypsy grave, because we come across that a lot, that name. The gypsy grave. And I've got the odd old grave, 1927, mixed in with it. And this does take you on a public right of way, which takes you straight over there to the canal. And we just sort of highlight some of the graves that stand out. A couple there that are quite sort of very big, and there's a tragic one here that presumably is a child's grave. just head back to the older graves and just see a war grave over there. Big grave there. That's 2024. There's the war grave, that's in pristine condition. I say there's an odd one dotted about that's fairly sort of new. And there's quite a few sort of old ones. So historically you'll probably find that all these will be a certain date. Another war grave, and the church is giving us a chime. Those you can't get to because they're all rewilded. The only problem with this rewilding is if you come miles to visit a grave of your parents or relatives and it's one stuck back there, you're knackered, aren't you? Good view of the church. Going back round to the front, we've got some old and new graves behind. One with a sundial here. It's not a very big graveyard, but such a small sort of village. That's quite a big one for 2020. They all tend to be very small, insignificant graves nowadays. There's this section here where they're all laid flat and covered in moss and what have you. It's quite colourful with the flowers and weeds. That must be a really old one or a knackered one anyway. So this is a garden of remembrance. Another view of the actual church. It's just so nice when you can actually get into the church. So many nowadays is open for an hour on a Sunday and that's it. Full marks for that.